Let's keep calm and mother on. Mothering is way too important to do alone and way too serious to be serious all the time. My name is Christy Thomas, and I am here shoulder to shoulder with you, mothering and enjoying life together. This is the podcast where you can focus on being mindful and taking a deep breath with me and learning new things so you can pause and savor the amazing life you already have. Now let's go. It's been an amazing week around here. And when you think of amazing weeks, you may not think of overwhelm or feeling like it's all too much. But sometimes that's what happens when all the good stuff piles up at the same time. This past week has been so much goodness that it's hard to put it into words. But also because of the life we've been living, right? It's also felt like a lot because we haven't been around that many people or just the building up of expectations. So this past week, my husband had his celebration of command, his change of command ceremony, which is leading up to us moving in less than 30 days, around 30 days, right around there. And that's great. And then I turned 40, which you know about from last week's episode, and that's also great. And we had my nephew here who's 18 months and 2 sets of grandparents and my brother and his wife and my uncle and my aunt. We had all these amazing people plus a birthday party that blew my socks off and trick-or-treating and candy and a new moon. There's so much goodness. And so when there's so much goodness, or so much hardness, depending on whatever's happening in your life, I need to remember some anchors. I always go back to, what do you need when I feel overwhelmed? That's the question. I can easily ask that of my kids, but it's much harder to actually slow down and ask myself. In fact, before I recorded this episode, I stood in the kitchen and I got my dry erase board out and I started doing a brain dump. I love doing brain dumps. They help me figure out what I can delete and what I can delegate and what I can put due dates on to get stuff done. But so when I look at that, the first things that I brain dump are actual tasks like switching utilities and researching the next orthodontist. And do I have enough Ziploc bags to pre-pack some of the things that the packers pack? But that's not anything about me. Like, what do you need, Christy? What do I actually need? Those questions come much later in the brain dump. I have to clear the actual tasks that I have to do that are weighing on my mind before I can figure out oh yeah, there is something. I could go lay on my mat, my spiky bio acupressure mat for a little bit. I could go for a long run with a friend. I could take a hot bath. I could just sit in bed and read a fiction book and ignore most of the chores. And that's exactly what I did yesterday. I didn't even let myself get to the brain dump part. I decided to choose my own joy and a full reset. That I let myself have the day off. So we got Chick-fil-A for lunch, and then we had some great takeout from a local bakery for dinner. And that is what we needed, because I noticed I needed to be gentle and I needed to be soft. And I'm an introvert. I needed to reset in a quiet way. And without the gift of knowing that that's what I needed, I would have moved into this super frantic, hyper mode. And that behavior is a source of information for my kids, right? If mom is just instantly switching okay, everyone left and now she's into frantic hyper mode, we must not feel safe. There must be something that I don't know about going on. And that's not the type of leader I wanted to be. I wanted to keep calm and mother on. So I had to lean into, what did I need? And when I answer those questions, I think about my heart, my hands, and my mind. So I think about movement. I think about collecting hugs during the day. And those slow 30-second hugs that change your stress response cycle. I thought about the care tasks that were overwhelming me and which ones I could let slide and which ones needed to be done like right now. Like the sticky spot on the floor sort of thing. I thought about joy. What could I do to add joy to my day? And for me, that was reading like a fun fiction book. And yes, it was a complete chick lit book because I like reading those instead of watching them. And the book I read was To Sir with Love. And it's very much like a You Got Mail type of book. So there you go. I don't want to spoil anything, but very fun. And that allowed me to find myself in home again, right? I'm an introvert. And when I acknowledge that, when I let myself slow down, build quiet into my days, and give myself permission to just embrace that, I can recover faster. And even though all these things were great things this week, I still needed that space. I found a quote on Instagram yesterday morning when I was thinking about which way I wanted to lean. And it says, there's nothing more urgent today than taking care of your mind, body, and soul by Laura Fortenberg. And when I posted that I was going to take a full day off, I was going to do a full stop, a lot of people said, bravo, or other people said, wow, I haven't done that in like 10 years. But most helpful was my friend Maggie, who gave me a tangible list of things she likes to do. She said, read, nap, walk, restorative yoga, eat something delicious I didn't cook, watch something I really want to, and take a bath. And so without Maggie knowing, those were the tasks that I kind of tried to lean into. And I realized later in the day that she's in the middle of reading the book Burnout by Emily Nagasaki and Amelia Nagasaki. And it's an amazing book. I read it when it was brand new. And the premise of that book is to trust your body. Be kind to yourself. You are enough just as you are. Your joy matters. And please tell everyone you know. Let me repeat that. Trust your body. Be kind to yourself. You are enough just as you are right now. Your joy matters. And please tell everyone you know. So that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to say you can have burnout or need a reset even after the most amazing moments. And that this is a practice, not a perfect. This idea to keep calm and mother on, to self-regulate yourself, is a practice. It's a practice on how to be a human that shows kindness and self-compassion and notices the shared humanity. This is a practice, not a perfect. And you were made not to be perfect. You were just made to be loved. And I'm so dang glad you're here with me. Now, let's talk about some family fun. The family fun idea for this week is if you haven't gotten rid of your pumpkins yet, or if you can find a pumpkin on clearance, or if you want to go buy those mini gourds at the grocery store, I think that would work. It'd be super fun this week to take extra golf tees and pound them into the pumpkin. I really enjoy pumpkin destruction after Halloween. And so if you haven't destroyed your pumpkin yet, or if it hasn't gone moldy, maybe you can find a new one, pumpkin destruction. And for the self-care task, I want you to sit down for 30 seconds here. Set an alarm on your phone or watch an analog clock. Analog clocks help me so much to see the time ticking. And ask yourself, what do I need? Your answer is going to be different than every other human on the planet in this moment. But that's okay. Let yourself be who you are in this moment. What do you need? How can you lean into being soft, being gentle, feeling rested? What do you need? I give you the space right now to create what you need. And maybe it's just a tiny task every day. Or maybe you need like a weekly circle of people to help you remember to check in with yourself of what you need. If you're interested in that weekly circle idea or every other week circle idea, find me on Instagram or send me a message or email me, please. Contact me from the show notes. I have this big idea swirling around, and I'd really love to build a container, a space for us where we can meet weekly or bi-weekly and ask ourselves, what do you need? What do you need to keep calm and mother on? And I could guide you with some guided meditation. I'm not sure. This podcast was started on a spontaneous whim, and this idea keeps bubbling up, this container of a circle of moms, a calm circle of moms. Remember, you are made to be loved. I am so glad you're here. I don't take your time lightly. It's an honor that you spent any moment with me. And I just want to say, I adore you. Have a great day. Find joy. Take care of yourself well. Bye, everyone.